Hey y'all, it's your girl, Presidential Lily, your favorite Lily, and we are back with another video. In today's video, I'll be recreating this look that was done by Beautyviajaleah here on YouTube. So I hope you guys really enjoy this video, and let's go ahead and get into it. So off camera, I went ahead and installed the wig, braided the hair down, and did all that good stuff because I feel like you guys already know what I do at this point. And this video was just mainly focusing on this look. She's like not even like my client. Like, of course she's my client, but she's more so like a sister. We've been friends for some years now, and she's been coming to me for about 5 years as well. And she showed me this picture of a Beautyviajaleah look, and I'll post it right here. And she was like, this is what I want on my red wig. And I'm like, okay, boom, I got you, let's do it. So I started out by parting my middle part, and then what I just did here was parted out a piece for the frontal to cover up the tracks in the back. And now I'm just taking my Hairstyle wax stick, and I'm just gonna make sure I take my time and hot comb the hair that's on the frontal to properly cover the tracks in the back of her wig. So I take my time with doing this whole look. It took me a while to do each section. Always remember that this is sped up, so take your time. But I really wanted the hair on the frontal to be as flat as possible, and so it's the wig, as well as the wig, and I just wanted to like take my time and make sure that it just covers up all the tracks in the back, pressing it down flat, make sure all the hairs are going in the direction that I want them to go, because I want it to look as real as possible. So I do want them to be able to see that she has those parts, right? That part right there, if they ever can look or see. So I'm just going to take my time with my hair going in and out with my Hairstyle wax stick and my hot comb to make sure that I hot comb it very, very good and flat. So once you're finally done hot combing the shit out of her hair, because yes, I don't care, I will sit there and take all the time in the world to sit there and hot comb it until it's the way I want it to look, okay? I'm just saying. So once I'm finished doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take my time and part out my little pieces that go in the front, like tiny little bang pieces, whatever you want to call them. I'm going ahead and pulling those out and just pulling those out and like clipping them out the way, and making sure that I get my part really crispy, really straight, really cute, okay? And then I'm going to begin to work on the ponytail. First things first, we're going to begin by flat ironing the hair. This hair was just simply blow dried, and it has a little bit of texture to it, so I want to go ahead and get it as smooth and sleek as I possibly can, so when we go to do the ponytail, we have a nice slick and smooth ponytail. You want this to look as natural and as flat as possible, so this is why you want to go ahead and take your time and flat iron the hair. So I'm just taking my Conair Infinity Pro titanium plate flat iron in 1.5 inch, and just taking it small to medium sized groups with my flat iron and doing one pass of each group. So now it's time to start forming the ponytail. I went ahead and took that elastic band off because y'all, it was getting on my nerves. It wasn't doing what I needed to do, and I don't feel like I needed it anyways. So I'm just taking my Hairstyle wax stick and going on my hot comb and just getting that indention out from when I placed her under the dryer with the satin wrap on. And then here in a second, I'm going to grab my Murray's beeswax, and I'm just going to take a small amount of that and just apply that to the base of the ponytail to make it real nice and sleek and so it'll lay flat, and all the hairs will just stay in place. That mixed with the Hairstyle wax stick, she has no flyaways. She did not have any flyaways. Literally, she was like, damn, that shit's sleek as fuck. And I'm like, yep, I'm already knowing. I use beeswax on my clients' hair, and I do the natural hair ponytails, and I love it when I do my frontal ponytail, where I do it with weave as well. Instead of just using a lot of pump it up, this is like the new method that I use. So I sprayed a little bit of pump it up as well, and I'm just gonna go ahead and form my ponytail. I'm To secure these ponytails, I am using two black rubber bands. These are small ponytails, so you don't like need like a huge ass scrunchie or nothing like that to secure it. Okay, you just need about one or two rubber bands, and put that thing on in there. Take your time. As you guys can see, I attempted a couple of times before I got it how I wanted it to be. You really want it to be neat and flat and sleek. You don't want the frontal to bunch up. You don't want it to be pulling at the edges either. So you want to do the ponytail just right. So if you're doing this on somebody else, make sure that you're asking them how the frontal feels, if they feel any tugging like that, because eventually the ponytail being too tight will pull the lace back, and then it just ruins the whole look, and it doesn't last as long as it possibly could. So right here, I'm taking a little bit of leftover track from the wig that I made for her, and I'm going to add it to the hair. So you guys see me take that tiny little piece. And I took a rubber band to secure it, and then I tried to wrap it around and then secure using another tiny piece from the opposite end. I tried to wrap it around to seal it. Usually that works. Sometimes in this case, since the ponytail was so thin and small, it did not work. So I ended up having to redo it again and just do it how I do my regular weave ponytails, extended ponytails, as I should say. So what made me want to take it down was when I was brushing it right here and touching it right here in this moment, and like wrapping around, it was just too loose. The track that I had wrapped around was moving. It just wasn't secure or tight enough as it usually is. So I decided to take a piece of a satin wrap and cut it in half, and then I cut that piece vertically like a hot dog in half. And then I took that piece and began to wrap it around the base of this ponytail. Give me a second and I'll show you. Okay, so I take a piece of the rubber band, stick it through there, and then I begin to wrap it around the base of my ponytail like I would do an extended ponytail, like I said before. To secure the satin wrap on there, I always just take a little bit of my 60-second hair glue, and I continue, like, put it down, and then I wrap it, and I cut that extra piece and just smooth it out, and then it stays. It stays every time like a charm. Then I'm taking some more of my 60-second hair glue and placing it like on the top half of the ponytail, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin to wrap down the extra track onto the glue down to the base of the ponytail and secure it that way. When I got to the very end of the track, I added a little glue to secure it. You guys will see here in a second. Just take a little bit of that 60-second glue in that track, make sure I kept it on that track and held it down, waited till it dried, and that was so much better this time around. I was much happier with the result. So then I'm going to take my time now and move on to how I comb in that little bang piece on that side. I always work side to side. I have no clue why, but I think it's like something that has something to do with my OCD. I always work side to side. So I went ahead and just got the bang piece in the front ready on this side, just because I knew that I was also not going to show you guys what I was doing on the opposite side on camera, just because I don't want this video to be too long. I'm only styling. But anyways, moving on, I'm going to take a little piece to do my wrap around to cover up the tracks. I'm going to take a little bit of that, pump it up, and spray it down the piece that I chose. Make sure that you use a fine tooth comb to flatten it out, and just take your time to wrap it around the base, making sure that you have your comb handy to continuously make sure that it's flat and smooth, so when you wrap around the base, it's nice and neat. Like, I always use nice and neat, nice and flat, nice and neat, nice and flat, because that's like my thing. Those are my biggest things as a hairstylist. To go ahead and secure that wraparound without having to use any bobby pins or anything like that, I just take my hot comb and dry that, pump it up, and it just holds everything in place. And I'm telling y'all, it's not going to come down. I promise you it's not going to come down, y'all. So this is how the ponytail looked. Okay, I went ahead and did the other ponytail off camera, and then I curled her off camera. Now what you guys see me doing is taking a little bit of some concealer to brighten up that part, so you guys can see that it's a part there. Okay, like, y'all need to know that there's always a part there. If you skip, usually when I skip putting a highlight or concealer in the part, it's usually when my client asks me to, because they're comfortable with how the part looks. But please know, whenever I'm in charge and nobody got nothing to say, the concealer is going into the part every single time, baby. Okay? So I'm just making sure to do some finishing touches. At this so far, like this look is so cute. You guys already can see what it's looking like and what it's hitting on. I'm just taking a little bit of my pump it up to make sure that I finish it off and make sure that everything's in place and holds. And then Sue was already feeling herself. She'll be acting that ass, y'all. And I'm taking my Afro G Shine Spray to go ahead and further spray her. But you know, you see, she acting the ass because she already feeling herself. She's literally looking at herself in my camera monitor, acting up. Like, I'm not even finished, girl. I can't even get my finished look video because she already, playing around. But this right here is what I got. Don't mind my towels in the back. I had just washed all my hair towels. But this right here is what we got. This was Beautyviajaleah approved on my Instagram, where I posted a reel. It's also on my TikTok. I'll have both my TikTok and my business page tagged down below. But I love how this look turned out. I hope you guys did as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me cater to you.